like there. Just this a little bit. Get that going. So, hello to the interwebs out there. So today's stream's gonna be a little bit different. We got Tanya, we got Drac, Asmo. What else we got in there? Who else? Who else is in here hanging out on this Monday? We got Megra, hey, Hotfoot, hey, Shenanigans, Short Bus, Becca. What's going on, everybody? We got a bunch of people in here. How is it going? Let me get some music going. Let's see here. Hopefully it's not too loud. So, there we go. All right, so today's stream is going to be a little bit different than usual. Because we got this new book coming out. If you see, this says SoulBound, Age of Sigmar role playing, right? So it still has not been released on a hardback eternity. Like the actual physical copy has not been released. And it's okay, because I got the PDF, and we've already made characters, and we've been looking at rules, and that's quite interesting. Quite interesting. Let me do this here a little bit more. Let's see if it go down. Move this over. There we go. And then we'll try to get some painting done. But let's see here. Maybe let me shrink myself down just a little bit. All right. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys this new role-playing game. It's for Age of Sigmar, and I'm big into Age of Sigmar myself. And everybody hopefully had a great weekend and chilling, man, chilling. Let's see, I need to do another share real quick. Live now. Let's just post that right now. Bam. That. And then, there we go. All right. So let's see here. We got about 5 people in chat. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So I'm looking at running this actually, but not solely me. I think I'm going to be running this as a full participation campaign style game where everybody is going to DM if it's just encounter or something. Like everybody's gonna have a part in this. Sorry, man. Hot today. 94 in Houston. Woohoo! All right, so this is SoulBound. It's good. It's good. So the art in this is amazing. Straight up. On the cover, you got a Kurnoff Hunter. You've got might be a Skyrigger for KO. Looks like a Tidecaster for Deepkin. A War Priest with his Griffhound. You got the female Sigmarine there. Looks like they're fighting some Death and Khorne, maybe. So let's get into this. So you've got, this book contains 346 pages. So this is the PDF. You get the PDF if you buy the hard copy. So hopefully it's not all fuzzy on the screen capture on this. If it is, if the focus is off, please let me know. But you get 23 classes. You get archetypes, species. So the archetype is like the species of what you can be, and then the archetypes are like your classes. And it's basically all the order, Grand Alliance order stuff is what you somewhat can be. You can't be everything right now. There is a way to create your own species, archetype stuff. But that's up to you and your GM. But you have, let's see here. Oh, let's just roll down. Let's get to the page. So it's page 45. We'll just show you we'll just go to certain areas here. Let's see. Where is my page number? There we are. 45. 45. Enter. Right. Archetype. There we go. So hopefully this looks okay on the stream. Let me. Okay. Cool. Okay, so you got humans, elves, Durden, and Sylvaneth. So those are the species. Now you can be other species depending on GM and creation and all that stuff. There is a custom thing to do. There are disclaimers though, so in each species you get certain things as well. Bonuses, right? For instance, like if you're a Sylvaneth person, you get your armor is 2, and then if it gets broken and whatnot, you can actually self-repair yourself. But you can't wear any armor as a Sylvaneth. But there's other things you can do with Sylvaneth. Durden gives you 2 extra wounds. The elves, you have a training 1 and focus 1 in any skill of your choice, and we'll explain that later. Stormcast, you never die, but basically as a Stormcast, even in the lore, you get reforged. So there's some mechanics behind that, and every time Stormcast gets reforged, you lose part of yourself and your sense of being and all that good stuff. And then of course you get your humans, right? I get 1 additional talent, which I forgot on my actual character sheet, so I gotta actually pick that. I made a human bright mage, or battle mage, basically. Well, let's see here. Let's go down a little bit more. So those are species. You got skills, talents, all good stuff. Equipment. So free people. So we're gonna go, and I'm gonna show you the archetypes is what we're on right now. I'll give you something. Let's roll this out just a hair. There we go. So you got free people. So this is your humanoids and things that are not normal. You got some elves in there, right? Darkling Coven, Devoted of Sigmar. He's the War Priest, right? Collegiate Arcanum is like your wizards. You got the privateers. Well, let's go here. So here's the Battle Mage. So we'll go right here. We'll just show you this art. Female Battle Mage book. So you have 3 stats: body, mind, and soul. So regular D&D and everything, you have like strength, dexterity, all that good stuff, right? You got the basic your core stats. Body, mind, and soul are your 3 core slots. Body is, in intents and purposes, your melee attack. Mind is like range attacks, and then soul are some other things with soul. But those are your 3 stats. Then you got your skills. You get a skill, your skill. Then you get skills that you spend points on from the base list right here first. And then you'll have your core talents that you get, and then you get to choose 2 more, like it says, out of what they're showing you. And then you've got your equipment, right? And the Aqua Generis, I never say it. Generis? Geranus, I don't know. Can't even say the word right now. But the aqua is your money. There's droplets, there's vials, and then there's spheres. And those are used for money and other purposes as well. You got your Black Arc Corsair. So here's a elf. Really awesome art. Again, I love the art in this book. You got your Darkling Sorceress. Look at that piece of art, man. Like, I'm gonna go through the archetypes like this just so you can see it. They've done a great job. You've got the War Priest, right? So, look at that guy. Who would want to mess with that guy? Red glowing eyes or orange eyes, hammer, right? Just amazing. So this kind of threw me off. You have a trade pioneer, but but still, look at that. He's got a companion. Like a celestial ferret or something, you know, right? And then you got Daughters of Cain. So you could be a hag priestess, sorry, look at that. You could be a witch elf. I don't know what elf, but it's a witch elf. Whichever one of that is, there is an elf. So the witch elf. And you got your fire slayers. So you got the room smiter. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. You got a battlesmith. And you got, of course, the Doomseeker. What's so bad? What, Fire Slayers? They're pretty good, actually. And you got your sea elves, your deepkin. So you got your Killian emissaries. Now, of course, you don't get the eel off the get-go. Just want to let you know. Oh, my elf joke's so bad. I know, right? It was pretty bad. Polish, dry sense of humor. Hey, it's better than a dad joke, right? But you don't get the. I don't think the Fang Moor. I don't know if that's what those are, but you might be able to have it, but you probably won't get it in the beginning of a game session. You got a Soul Scryer. You got the Tidecaster. Like, the art is just amazing. I just like to always point that it is the art. Then you got the KOs. You got the your steampunk dwarves, right? So you be Ether Chemist. Yeah, right. I need lessons, right? There's like the whole zombie weekend we had. Yeah, zombie stream. You got your Engine Master, by the way. Look at this guy. That hammer is a beast. So the KO, they have a thing. They have their suits, their rigs, and everything's attached to the rigs. The rigs like has a power source, and each session you have to maintain your rig and give it maintenance, or you're gonna lose power sources, which then means you can't use certain items. So yeah, you might get an awesome hammer and a cool like laser mining light or who knows what, but if you don't have enough power in your suit to use it, you can't use it. Then you got the Sky Rigger. Look at that guy. Then you got the Stormcast Eternals. Azeros. The ones, I think this one that has the one with the wings and the liner. Yeah, so you barely see the wings because the art with the white wings. Got the Incantor. These guys are crazy. Look at that. Their little crystal grenades there. Questor. Ventor. So this is the winged archer, and they have a ether bird or ether falcon. I forget what it's called, ether something. Then you got the Sylvaneth. So you got the branch witch. Look at this thing, freaking crazy serpent looking thing, insecticide thing. And you get your Kurnoff hunters. Yes, you can be a Kurnoff hunter in this game. I'm in the Tree Reverent Waypiper. So it's almost like every time I see one of these, it's like a bard. It reminds me of. Yes, just amazing art. A bunch of skills. So this takes place in the Realm of Fire. They do have a really gorgeous map that they've actually added to, because I have one of the original maps of the Plane of Fire on my wall with a bunch of, I think I have the realm, it's the Realm of Fire, and I have the Realm of Life and the Realm of Death. So I have those 3 maps on my wall. This one takes place in Realm of Fire, but they add so much more lore and so much to it. It's and the misconception with people thinking about the realms, like, oh my God, it's a realm of fire, everything's on fire, there's volcanoes everywhere, everything's burning down. Oh no, it's not. It's not like that. There's trees and there's areas where nothing's on fire and it's regular, vegetation. So, equipment. So they do have. So that's where it takes place. There's a mechanic where, so I don't know how many out there has played role-playing games or whatnot. So there's mechanic. Well, okay. What happens all the time in role-playing game? You and your buddies get together and like, oh, I'm gonna be the archer. Oh, I'm gonna be the warrior. I'm gonna be the priest. And then you got the guys like, oh, I'm gonna be a rogue and I'm gonna screw everybody. I'm gonna pickpocket everybody and I'm gonna slice people's throats if you don't, if you're not nice to me, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep, right? So you have this internal struggle battle in your group, in your party. Now, I'm not saying there shouldn't be tension. There should always be tension in your party, because it does grow to have a very unique session when you have that. But you always have the people that have those, like, someone pissed off somebody, so they always fight and bounce their heads off each other, and they're like, oh. Well, there's a mechanic called SoulBound. Of course, that's what the book's called. SoulBound, right? SoulBound mechanic is a thing that the whole party, except if you're playing a Stormcast, and I'll get into that in a little bit, agree to be a party and partake and become one, basically. And so you do this soulbound with each other. And what happens is you'll get access to certain things as a soulbound party, which prevents you from killing each other. Because you'll earn soul fire points to help do things. On the same side of it, so let's just say I'm playing a Doomseeker Dwarf and I'm on this like death spiral. I'm playing a Fire Slayer here, and I'm on this death loop of just wanting to die, and so I'm going to use the Soul Fire ability to do something for me. But to do that, I have to get the party to agree to do it. Everybody that's soulbound with me has to agree for me to be able to use that ability. Now I have a choice. If the whole party agrees to it, you're fine, you use it, piece of cake. If one person in that party denies you the ability to use that ability, because it's a group technique, then you can still use it. Whatever, you can screw you, I don't care what you think. Then you're gonna start getting doom. And the more points of doom, the harsh the scenario, the environment, consequences, all that stuff happens, depending on how much doom you accumulate as a party. So there's benefits, downsides, and give or take. So it's a good party mechanic, because the game, role playing used to be back in the day, used to be just a core group of friends just get together, play the game, drink some beers, whatever, barbecue, eat food, whatever, and you just go and play. But now it's turning into this mainstream, digital age too. Between conventions and digital, where people just go out and hang out and pick up a pickup game, the one-offs, right? And so the dynamics in the group, the people in the group are starting to change. The way the group is ran, the people communicating, all that stuff is changing a lot. So this way grabs all that and kind of helps focus that. Now, when I talk about Stormcast cannot soulbind because they're already soulbound to Sigmar. They already pledged their soul and bounded to Sigmar to fight his eternal crusade and his awesome army. So they cannot soulbind. The problem is those Stormcasts, if they die, of course they can't truly die. They get reforged. But so yeah. What else is this? The mechanic is real simple too. You only use D6s. I have not seen any other dice. Imagine that, a Warhammer game that uses just D6s, right? They got a lot of beasts in here too. There's not a lot of creatures in this book, but once you understand how the creatures work and what their abilities are and their stat lines and how it represents the game, you can end up making your own. It's not a big deal. There's lots of spells. There are, let's see what else we got here. We got, so the way that the system works too in the mechanics aspect of rolling dice, right? Hitting people and stuff, it's very unique, okay? It really is very different compared to most games. So most games, it's like, look, I have, I have a strength, you have an attack characteristic, whatever. I have a +3 to hit, and then my weapon gives me another +1. My strength gives me another +1, and then Johnny Jingleheimer Smith is assisting me, so that gives me a +1. And then you roll a d20, and then you take that off of whatever, and you do all this math, and boom, there it is, right? This works a little bit different. So it comes down to your base stats and skills. So for instance, your 3 base stats, let me find it real quick here. Look at that. I mean, look at this art. I gotta point this out. Look at this. You got Sigmar, you got Nagash, and you got Laria. So Sylvaneth, Nagash, which is death, and then Sigmar himself. But look at that. The 3 of them together. That's and that style, I really enjoy that style art too. Sometimes it really helps formulate what's going on and a weird, grimmer but not darkish kind of feel, right? Got a bunch of Blood Reavers and Blood Warriors on the prowl. You got a Korgath. Looks like a I'm not say a Bloodstroker. No, God, I forget what these guys are, but yeah, there's one of those guys. Sigmar, look at that. Dracoth with the freaking dude with his hammer. Bunch of dudes just beating down some corn. Loving it. So let's see here. Some Nagash, Chain Rafts. And they do, okay, so the lore in this. So if you're not looking at playing this, but you want to keep up in the Age of Sigmar lore, this book is amazing on lore and canon and all kinds of stuff. They have really progressed and answered some questions. So this looks like a picture of the party soul binding. That's what this looks like. Sylvaneth, Tidecaster, a war priest. I'm not really sure what this little pudgy person is down here. Maybe it's a dwarf. I'm not sure. Character creation. Alright, so let's see. Where is my base stats here? Species, human, we already talked about that. Stormcast. You're going to get some bonuses. And the way okay, so the digital copy of this book, and hopefully it's probably going to be the same thing in the hardback, but it's really out of order in aspects of how you go through your book. So you're talking about creating a character and all this stuff, right? It goes through names and appearances and age and all kinds of stuff. And we've been rolling everything. The only thing you don't get to roll for really is your weight, but everything else you do. So we've been rolling a lot of random stuff in our party. Hair color, height, all that good stuff. So a cool aspect too, they want you to pick short-term, long-term. We'll get to the goals. I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. But they're going to want you to pick a short-term goals and long-term goals, because you're going to earn experience on completing those goals. Of course, your long-term goal is something you're probably going to achieve at the end of the game. It's never going to really happen. That's how difficult it is, right? One of the examples is complete the zoology study of every creature in the parch, which is the realm of fire. Like you're not. Let's see. Let me make sure the parch is. I'll bring up the map. They have a digital map. I'll bring it up, but the parch is huge. So that's gonna take forever to complete that. One of the examples they give for short-term goals, and I thought was really funny, is look up an old friend and kill them. That's a short-term goal. So they incorporate goals. You got your party. So then you have party goals, short-term and long-term party goals. So you work together as a team and figure out what your goal is. And the way they start this game out, it starts off as like you're all already in a group per se. You've already known each other forever. That's why you're soulbound. And you're already like, not to say hero status, but kind of like you're on that verge of hero status. Like you are, but you're not, right? And the cool thing is that's how the game starts. But the GM can do it, and he can dial it back down where you guys are all peasants, or like you're just a dwarf, or you're just a human or an elf. Like the power, you can scale it down to make it so it's not so powerful, and then scale it back up when you want to. Like it's really easy. Let's see here, Soulfire and Doom questions, and then they have these 10 questions. They want you to actually fill out or find answers. Go through these questions and write the answer down. So you're creating the backstory of your character. Where are you from? What is your family like? What was your childhood like? What was your worst fear? Why and when did you leave home? Who's your greatest ally or best friend? What do you desire most? Who's your worst enemy or bitter rival? What is a secret no one else knows? Why are you doing this? So why are you part of the group? Right, sorry. So then you go to, okay, so here we go, finishing touches. So melee. So Duder has a quarterstaff. Quarterstaff, I know for a fact, is 1 damage plus S. And I'll get into the S of that. But how do you use that quarterstaff? What gets you to mechanics to hit somebody, right? So first we gotta figure out your dice pool. So your melee represents your hand-to-hand combat when you make an attack, a melee attack. Your melee is compared to your opponent's defense to determine the difficult number for the attack. If you're evenly matched, then it's basically 4. So think of old 40K, old fantasy, where it's like, I need a 3 to hit, or my strength is 3, your toughness is 5, and then you kind of do the fuzzy math, right? But if you're like, I'm strength 4, your toughness 4, you need 4s to hit. Kind of the same deal, but I'll show you. That's just a good example of how there's a chart that you kind of look at. But you're going to take your body, which is your main stat. So if I have a 4 body, and then you're going to take your weapon skill, because it's melee. You have 3 points in each skill. There's 3 points that you can put in, and then there's 3 focuses. The points per skill gives you 8 extra dice for your dice pool. The focus is another dot after the 3. Will give you a +1 to a die, and you can have 3 of those. So potentially you can have a bonus of 3d6 and +3, and that +3 can go to +3 to 1 die. So if you rolled a 2 but you need a 5, you can put all focus on all 3 of those points in that 1 die. Or you're like, oh, I'm rolling 5d6 and you need 5s, but you rolled 4s and you needed 3 4s. You can add 1 to 3, make 3 dice a 4 or 5, right? So your body stat is your dice pool, and then you add to that. So what they do though, so then accuracy is the same way. So accuracy will be your mind plus ballistic skill. Okay. So mind is your dice pool, ballistic skill adds to it, but the number matters. So here we go, the ladder. This is what you use to figure a lot of things out. So the ladder is, so say you're a KO, or we'll just say you're Sigmarine, right? And you've got a freaking, I don't know, a sword, but you're level 1, like you're just starting. So you're just starting, and your body is a 4, but you add 3 points into weapon skill, so that's 7. So your total number is a 7 melee. So you look at the chart, 7 through 8 is great, you excel at this task. There'll be a slot in a character sheet and you put a dot next to that. So you're great at it. Defense is kind of the same way. It's going to be your body plus the reflex skill as your defense, and it works the same way. You know, you add those together. That's where how good you are at defense, and then you have armor as well. So you have armor, toughness, wounds, mortal wounds. That's kind of the scale it goes into, like damaging wise. So if I'm doing damage to you, I'm doing damage to your toughness first. Armor shrugs off, of course, points off of that. You know, so you'll hit the armor first, then you hit the toughness. Once the toughness goes down, then you'll start giving them wounds. Once the wounds go down, you'll start getting them more wounds. So it's pretty decent mechanic. Things cost experience points. So not like most D&D games you get like, oh, here's 100 points of experience, here's 300 points of experience, and you get experience, and you get experience, and the group gets experience just because you were there, right? So you're gonna get individual experience and you're gonna get group experience, and it's not gonna be like hundreds of experience. It's gonna be onesies and twosies. You're not getting like the number value. Don't feel like you're gonna get disappointed. Like, oh, you get one experience for the session. The whole party gets one XP. That one XP can help you drastically. So this is what it costs, you know, for attributes and whatnot. You know, so that you spend your experience points to get things. The way the character sheet looks. So you've got your 3 stats, all the skills. So you got the main skills, and then the focuses, all your character information up top, connections, goals. Here's the combat tracker. So I was talking about like how good are your melee right here, your accuracy, your defense, attack difficult. So here's where this chart will help you determine what you need to hit. So if I'm great at something and their defense is poor, right? This is what the chart's for. So he's poor, so I have 2 successes, I think of this, 2 steps from him. So if he's here and I'm here, 3, 1, no, it's 2. So good and average. It's 2 or more steps higher, so I need 2s. That's what this means, because I'm 2 steps. You got initiative, you got armor, you got toughness, you got metal, attacks, weaponry, mortal wounds. Your portrait, background notes, like you got equipment, gear, all your currency, spells, all that stuff. So, and then what's cool too is they give you a party sheet. Name your party, the members, tells you what, you know, using Soulfire, what you can, total Soulfires, any details, short-term, long-term goals. Like this is great. This is a mechanic sheet that I think all parties should have, no matter if it's D&D or not, right? This, because it helps focusing your party and gives you information, like remembering, like, oh, dude, hey, fucking, excuse my language, but the dwarf over there, he fears getting his hair burnt off or something, you know, so he's got, you know, fear of losing hair. You know, put his, you know, just so you know, the party, he's got a fear. We gotta watch out for that. So let's find, let's see here, where is, looking for a certain part here. I believe it's right there. So I mean, so far it looks great. Like, I am very impressed so far. Let's see here. Just trying to find the. Skills and talents, maybe it's down below, maybe it's further down. Structures, religion, belief. They talk about all the gods in here, by the way. There are endless spell for right now, which causes death, by the way. Some creature. So here's just a look at a enemy NPC, like a blood warrior, right? So he's good with his hammer, poor with shooting attacks, and he has good armor, right? He has 3 armor, 8 toughness. He hasn't taken any wounding. He has 1 medal, normal speed, 3 initiative, natural awareness. He's got a bunch of skills and trades and attacks, and there's a stat line, right? So, you know, his defense is good, and if I'm good with my hammer, just knowing the equalness, good versus good is you need 4s. That's what it is. And so, say I have the ability to roll, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, a bunch of, let's say 8d6, right? And I roll all 8 dice on those d6s are 4s, then he has no toughness left. Like he's gonna take away 3, and then I'm gonna do 5. So he's down to 3 toughness. Your armor can break in this game, so you would have to repair it if it breaks. Weapon-wise, that's what I was gonna talk about. So we'll just look at his weapon. His Gore Axe. He's good with it. If my defense is poor, and he's good, he's gonna need, I think, 3s to hit me. His weapon does 1 damage plus S. S means successes. So every success I get adds to my damage. So base weapon is 1 damage. So I roll to hit, he's taking 1 no matter what if I hit him. And then after every success after that 1 is an extra damage. Well, I should say every success. So it's an extra damage. Slashing does its own thing too. Trying to find, there's a certain section I'm trying to find. Wild form, follower structures, a gash. Part of the Realm of Fire right here. I mean, the color art looks amazing. I'm so glad they did that. So I have both this book and the Game Master stuff coming whenever it actually releases. The Game Master stuff comes with of course, the screen, but then it comes with 5 adventures per main city, solo adventures, and it's 25 adventures overall. So that's good. They're talking Q4, so it could be any time after October. Look at that picture, the floating city. That's just crazy. A bunch of ships tied together. Lands of the Great Parch. Like, it's crazy. So it's not all fire. Like, there are areas that are on fire and burning and volcanic and all kinds of stuff. But then there's others that are just fine. What picture is that? That was a good picture. Look at this. So you got steam tanks sitting out there. You got a cannon. You got some, looks like some humans in here, or maybe who knows what they're like hanging out. I got a cannon. I forget what they're called. I'm gonna say Hellfire cannon, but they're not. But they're the Gatling cannons. Look at this guy up here. It's female. She's like on some kind of like wheel. So what is this? How they get exercise? How they get their crops, watering their crops. A little person comes up here and starts walking on it, right? Bunch of statues, right? bunch of fluff. Talks about the Great Parch itself. So, and even each race or species tells you a lot about them, structures and everything. Like, it's such a great book. Even just so you, if you want to understand whatever race you're playing in Age of Sigmar stuff, if you want to learn more about them, it's a really good book. Just get some more information on them. And it might help you with goals. Looking for long-term or short-term goals, reading some of that might help you get an idea. Bunch of Skaven. Talks about all the realms as well. So even though it's based in the realm of fire, they do go in depth on some of all the realms, it looks like. So you understand. Now, if I'm going too fast or you see something, please let me know. If you have questions, please throw in the chat. Ask me a question. But most days, most people are visual people. To understand what a realm looks like or how it looks or what's around it, you want art to understand so you get a better idea. So that's a realm gate right there. Talks about the Necroquake. Little realms. So there's your realms. Heavens, fire, metal, beast, life, light, death, and shadow. Right there. Bam. The realms. Big old realm gate right there. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this DN. The DN is the difficulty. And there's a chart in there where you can look at the chart, and the chart it helps you determine what the difficulty of certain things, and things are harder, or if you want to make them easier, like what you should do. So this means you need 4 dice. So a DN 4.6 is you need 4 dice. You need 4s on 6 dice. So you need 4. Well, sorry. You need 4 6s, I believe it is. Let me make sure. Maybe I'm getting it backwards. DN. The DN is 4 6 or 4 7, 4 8. So on. Give me a second. I always get this confused because I've been just looking at. Let me just find the chart. It's easier to show you the chart. I don't want to say the wrong thing and be like, Ski's an idiot. Endeavors, service. I'll get to the DNs. Between adventures, healing. Where is the DN chart? Death tests, dealing damage, dual wielding, depending if you're allowed to. Hitting your opponent. So here's that hitting your opponent thing I was talking about. Great melee versus poor melee. You need 2s. 3s, 4s, 5, 6, right? Good melee versus exceptional defense. So you just take that chart and you just bounce off each other, and that's what you need. The ladder, here's that ladder again. Poor, good, right? Search, run, rally. Where's that chart at? Find the DN chart. What is that? That is, size. So just gives you some notes because there is hazards. There are hazards in zones, and the zones depending on there's close, medium, and all those zones give you different ranges, and then you can do things to make minor hazards, major hazards, deadly hazards in that zone. So terrain matters, just like it says difficult terrain, cover. combat, surprise, tracking, doom. Sort of find that difficulty chart so you can see it too. Degrees of success. So there's the success chart. So we need to, equal to the DN, you pass, you complete the task, no more, no less. But then you start looking at, anything after you're succeeding is successes, and so you get extra bonuses on certain things. Get to the test area. So here we go. So climbing map 1 is 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 1, 6 1, right? And what that means is, let's get it verbatim. The difficulty of a test is the number you must equal or exceed on a die for it to count as a success. For some tasks are relatively simple, such as jumping, gap, kicking a door, and whatever. These tests usually require only one success. Other tests might require more. And the examples in these books are amazing. They don't actually leave you asking more questions majority of the time. So this person is trying to do something. And the test is a 5-1. The difficulty of the test is a 5, and the 1 means she only needs one success. So that means she needs one on her dice pool, whatever her dice pool may be for that skill test. Out of all that, she needs 1 5. That's what that means. Or better, obviously, 5 or better. So a 5-1 means D6 of a 5 on one die. So, if you see and a 6th, you can never go past a 6. 6 is the highest number. So it goes 6, then 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 6-6, 6-7, 6-8, right? But you'll never go over a 6. So it's a different way of doing things. It gets you gotta get used to it a little bit. But I think it's phenomenal. Like, it's really, really cool. So yeah, my little review of SoulBound. Chat's been pretty quiet, so if you have questions, please ask. Please ask. You can hire merchants and mercenaries as well to work for you. You can write things. There's so much in this, just in the book alone. So I don't got much time, so I'm gonna leave this up and I'm gonna switch screens real quick. Bam. So I'm getting better at this Streamlabs OBS stuff. Look, I got a shadow now. Shadow. Excellent, man. I mean, when I do reviews, I've watched a couple of videos, so I'm not the first at this, right? I played a lot of D&D growing up. I'll be honest. I'm almost 40 in January. I've been playing D&D since I was 17. Now it's been off and on. Retired military, where I can, right? I started playing back in THACO days of D&D, first and second edition D&D. Man, it was great. I played the newest stuff for Pathfinder, and so I've played Death Watch, so I've been around. And so when I'm watching reviews, people just kind of skim through it and they're just like, blah, 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 right? And I might jump around too, but I want to show you it. Because if you like it, you're going to buy it. I want you to just show you the mechanics, kind of explain how some things are. You're going to be able to pick it up and read it. That's one thing. But I want to show you. I want to show you what is good in there. For instance, okay, I'm going to show you something else real quick. Where is it? There's things called endeavors. Endeavors, you can go on endeavors, which are like repair your gear. So think about old style role playing. We get done with the mission. We're going to the tavern. We're like, whoop-de-doo, we're all gonna go have beer. You guys all drink. You guys do bar fight. You arm wrestle. You go to sleep. You wake up, and everything is normal. Your gear's fine. Your weapons are strengthened. Like everything's start a new adventure, new day. No one did any upkeep. This game, you got to do upkeep. There is upkeep. There is an actual endeavor. Endeavors are things you do outside of your adventure, or it could be part of your adventure depending on what kind of endeavor. But repairing. So if I walk up to you in battle, and I'm thinking this in logistically in Age of Sigmar, because I love Age of Sigmar. You know, me and you are fighting. We're going town to town, and you know I've got my shield, and it's like a wooden shield, but it's that sturdy, reinforced armored shield, right? And it has that wood look, but it has that metal framing. And you're walking up to me, and you smash me with it. I don't know, a warhammer, right? You're gonna end up putting dents. Uh-oh. Did it freeze on me? Oh, there we go. Oh. No, there it goes. Woo. I think there was a lull in there, and I apologize. But you're gonna start putting dents into my shield, right? And so we get done with our thing, we conquer. You know, I fight you, we beat you, whatever. We go back to the inn. I need to either try to keep using that degraded. It's broken. It's basically it's all shattered or messed up, right? It's broken. You're not going to get the same effectiveness as you did prior. So there's an endeavor called repair crafting or repair crafting, whatever it's called. It takes at least a week, and you have to roll on the chart to 3 times. You're allowed to roll 3 times in that week of repairing it to repair that shield, and hopefully you can repair it. So there's things like that. There's purposes in the game that matter. Like, and I like when things matter. I don't want to be so nitpicky. We're like, okay. You're a wizard. You're level 30. You have access to 400 spells, and you can cast 30 of them at a time per action, blah, 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 blah. But I need to know you have every piece of component. And I need you to mark that down on every piece of character sheet. And I need to make sure that you know, different with arrows. I'm not going to, you know, a good GM's not going to let you carry on 100 arrows. Like, look, everything going, you have maybe 20 arrows because of how bulky it is, or the quiver, or maybe even 10 arrows. Yeah, keep track of that, because when you're running out of arrows, you got to figure out what you're going to do. That's different, you know? But again, it's up to the GM. If he wants you to go into the depth of like, hey, you need to like have everything and keep track of everything, and like rations, you have 5 days of rations. I don't think people understand what rations look like. 5 days of rations. I don't think people understand what that looks like. MREs. An MRE is a day of ration when you're deployed, right? There's a lot of calories in those things. I can take an MRE and cut it down to 2 days. That's stretching it, because I'm going to be hungry. I'm going to be snacking all day, right? 5 days of rations back then, or in Age of Sigmar, is, unless it's like Lord of the Rings, or like, here's some elf bread. This elf bread, if you just take you'll survive for a while. Like, that's different too. So it just depends on your GM. So I'm not saying being anal and try to keep track of everything, but make things matter, because there's a system for it. Make it work. People will respect that. They'll get into that. Again, KO, their rigs there's power. They have to maintain their rigs after every session, or they lose power, and which means they lose part of their gear until they fix it. Let's see here. Bunch of skills, bunch of things you can do. Armor. So just to give you an idea of armor, I have not seen anything that gives you over armor 3 yet. So just to show you, but then it's loud. So there are things back and forth with there's things you get and don't get, things that you're gonna suffer from if you wear certain things, right? See, I'm a bright mage. I am a bright mage. I'm a human bright mage that is all about the fire. I took the fire magic. So how this works, so we'll talk about magic. You want to be a spellcaster. Cool. We'll just stick with the human side, because I really know, I've been reading a lot about that. You're going to get 4 common spells. You're going to get access to, first you're going to get access to Mystic Shield and Arcane Bolt. Then you're going to get to pick 4 extra common spells. Then whatever branch of magic that you go to, there's Gold, Amnesty, Bright, and then there's a handful more. You pick one of those focuses and you get access to all those spells in that focus. Then there's ways to get other spells from other focuses later, but you get access to all that stuff. But I have a quarter staff. So me and a buddy were talking, like, yeah, I have a quarter staff. I am very poor at using it, and so my quarter staff does 1+1. Like, I can never get more than like 2 damage on that thing right now. Because I'm not trained. I'm all about magic. But I have a toughness of 8 and I'm very resilient, and I only wear a robe. So I have subtle armor. Armor only gives me 1. Light armor gives you 1 armor. So, but like a KO, his hammer, I forget what it's called, but it's a 3+S. This is hammer, but it's also attached to his rig, and it also costs energy or capacity. It's part of like his, think of a capacitor, but it's part of his rig. So. Trading available. So I think this is going to be a good system, especially for people that are already into Age of Sigmar or know stuff about Warhammer Fantasy, because it doesn't really change, because it's just a era. It's the age, the age of this, age of that. So it's the Age of Sigmar, and then plus people are going to have models that they can use. Like I have to go pick up the one model I don't have. I have to go pick up a Bright Mage now because I'm playing a Bright Mage. Fire. It's all about fire, right? But I have a box. Like I can go out now and buy a box of Blood Reavers. Like, hey, we're gonna be fighting Blood Reavers. I can go buy a box of Blood Reavers because I've been wanting to paint a box of Blood Reavers, and I don't have to buy any more. One box done, right? We ever get to a point where like, oh, we're gonna fight some Slaves of Darkness. I've got a good starter box of Slaves of Darkness, or I can go buy some different ones. I have all the Warcry models except for a couple. I don't have the newest warband they haven't released. I don't have the cave dude, the cave monster, and I don't have the cat. And there's a couple of like creature-wise, but like I have the models of the people. If we got to fight plague bearers, I get to go paint. Like I can go and buy a box and paint a box of something and keep it for roleplay now. So I think that's really cool. And you'll have a lot more respect for your character too, because you'll understand the character, what they're about, and then you get the book and you read, and you're just like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Let's see here, where's a good spell? So, and there's miracles as well. That's something you'll get later. Right now, the party that I have been putting together, we've got myself as a Bright Mage, we've got a Kurnoff Hunter, we've got a KO Endermaster, and we got a KO Skyrigger? Yeah, I think it's a Skyrigger. So, the group is very interesting already. Go back to archetypes, but let's see here. Here we go. These are the spells. There we go. So here is, I'll just show you the bright spells. This is my focus. Bright magic. Fireball. Fireball's in there. Of course fireball's in there, right? There's always a fireball in some kind of role-playing game. Always a fireball. So the difficulty is 5, 5, 2. Target is the zone. Medium range. Duration 1 round. Overcast. So overcast is, it says there, 1 damage per additional success, or 1+1 round per additional success. And you can split that up. So if I roll a bunch of dice, I have 8 dice, and I succeed, and my succeed's like 4 over, I can split that up and go, okay, I want 2 points of damage and 2 points in rounds. So it's going to last, 3 rounds and do 3 points of damage per round. Throw the fireball at a point within medium range. Each creature in that zone suffers 1 damage. As the area erupts in the flame, the fire spreads around corners and ignites flammable objects. So there does things. It's not just hits the people and that's it, like invisible fire, right? Additionally, the zone gains the minor hazard trait until the start of your next turn. Each additional success increase the damage, or you can choose the extended duration of the minor hazard by round. So there's a consequences for you do things too, and it affects everything. So it's not just like give or take, right? Or it's not just like I'm a player, so I'm immune. No, it doesn't work that way. So that's an easy-ish two dice, fives, right? 5 or better on 2 dice. But then you get into more difficult spells like, let's see if I can find one. There's a 5/3, 5/3, a 6/1, 6/1, 5/3, 5/3, 5/3, 5/2. Where is the one? 5/5/5, 6/1. I thought I saw one that was a little bit harder. 6/1. Jade spells, right? That's 5/3. 6/1. I think 6/1 is your powerful spell per se. Well, it depends, really. I think it really does depend. But there was a spell. 6/1, 5/3, 6/1. And the spell. There we go. 6/10. Look at that. 6/10. Right there. Zone, range, medium. It's permanent. The test is 5/5 soul fortitude. And it's empty, right? So what happens with the spell? So this is the big purple sun. It's a big sun, right? If a character, any character that enters the zone or starts a turn, they must take a DN 5/5. So they have to make a 5/5 test, soul fortitude test. On a success, the target suffers 10 damage and is frightened while in the zone. So it's not like you like walk in, you're like, okay, I gotta make a test, and then you're good. You're like, doopa doopa doo, and then you're like, yeah. No, you're still getting screwed. You're still getting messed up in the spell, and you get frightened. So I'm guaranteeing that does something. Pretty awful, right? On a failure, this blows my mind. I just see at our party, we're walking down the street, we open this door, we walk in, a purple sun's sitting in there, right? And we all take our test. Whoever fails this test, I am sorry, they die immediately. That's what it is. Their body crystallizes into the anthus as their soul is ripped from the body. If the target has wounds, they don't die, but their toughness is reduced to 0, and they become mortally wounded. The target fills any remaining spaces on the wound tracker and must make a DN 4/3 death test at the beginning of their next turn. At the start of the next turn, you must make a DN 6/5 mind channeling test to maintain control of the soul. So okay, so you don't immediately die. I just like to put out there, like you're like, oh, purple sun, I'm dead. You're pretty much you're dead if you don't have certain things. It just comes out to it, right? So I'm guessing they're gonna add more. It's not just the purple sun, but that's the only one that's in here. Cool thing. Check this out. Creating a new spell. You make your own spell. They have the guide for it. It is really, really, really cool. Have fun with it. Come up with some ideas. Your DM will probably love it if it makes sense and it follows the steps, and it's not broken. Always think of give and take, right? 9 times out of 10, they're like, cool, do it, right? Let's see, where is the Game Master section? Okay, so I'm just looking for that. I want to show you that chart before we bounce. Oh, there it is. Aha, I saw it. Where'd you go? There it is. The difficulty by dice pool. So, this chart right here is amazing. This will tell you how easy or bad it is for a player. So say Drac out there in Twitch land is like this dice pool, he has 5 6s, like he has a pool of 5d6s. If you look at the chart, he's got 5d6s. So right here, 5d6s. I'm all trying to point like an idiot right now. So 5d6s right here. That's what he has. So then a DM can be like, cool, I have a difficulty rating of a 6/3 coming, and it's for Drac. Drac's gonna love this. And then you're like, wait a minute, how many dice is in it? Like, you're getting ready to have him do this test, right? You're like, oh, you only have 5d6s. I have a 6/3 test. Ooh, that's gonna be very hard for him to pull off. Maybe I need to modify that 6/3 and make it a 4/3 instead. Not so challenging. So what this dice pool calculator does, it helps DMs make it so it's not impossible, or if they want to make it impossible, or they just want to make it straight out very easy, it gives them a way to give you DN tests without having to figure it out. I know it's kind of funny saying that. So I always give the example where you got that Doom Seeker, like he's running down this corridor, and he knows at the end of the corridor he has to jump across onto across this hole that is built into this corridor, but the corridor is suspended in air, so it's like a corridor hallway that connects two towers of this castle. And he's running down this corridor knowing there's a hole, but he does know in that hole, if he just jumps up and jumps down that hole, there's like, say, a dragon flying by or something, like whatever the case is, he knows there's something he can jump onto or stab that he needs to, right? You can do multiple DNs per segment of transactions of his actions. So him just running, how is he running? Fast, slow? That all makes it, that's a big difference too, because there's rules for how fast you're running. And what you can do. You can tell him to make it DN because his fat floppy feet with his one toe that is so long on his right foot catches a crack on the freaking stone that he's running. Make it DN, knowing he has 66 in his dice pool for this test. You're like, cool, make a 6-1 test on your 66. He should pass it, but if he doesn't, then you can go from there. So, and they're like him jumping in the air and making it through that hole is a test. Him jumping on the dragon is a test. Or you can combine the two and go, okay, that's going to be pretty difficult. So he's got 66. Let's make it hard. So let's make it he needs a 5-3. His test is a 5-3 on that 66. But whatever the test is, right? So this is a very amazing tool for a DM, just to help you with your test. So, touche, awesome, Cubicle 7, right on. Anything else? The Doom and Glory is great. I don't want to get into too much, but it's a really good mechanic for the party itself, right? Theme, fears, rumors, decisions matters, toolbox. I just can't wait for the screen, because a lot of this I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth. It's all going to be on the screen. I do suggest, okay, so my suggestion is just make characters up, work on, somebody just throw a quick scenario together. Think of Age of Sigmar on a tabletop. Say you're playing a game, and there was that one instance where Deuter 1 tried to do something to Deuter 2, and then in between he failed his charge roll, and you can make that an actual scenario somehow. Like you come around a rock, like, oh crap, there's a grunta. There is a grunta. There's not gore gruntas, but they're like the boy on the grunta, but there is a grunta. He's got I think toughness 8, matter of fact. But there are creatures in there. There are orcs. There are creatures. Make up a little scenario where you're working on doing tests, so you understand how to do your difficultiness and do these tests, so people understand what's going on, right? Then after everybody gets a feel for it, then move into combat and do a couple combats. Do some easy combats. Do some minor, some challenging combats. People dying or close to dying. Work on the death rolls, and just get a feel of the mechanics of this before trying to run into a campaign. Because it just makes the campaign easier and more streamlined. Because the players are there to help the GM when it comes to tests and what you need to roll and what. And then the DM's there to help facilitate fun and tell a story and help you guys, become amazing. Can't wait to see. There's a guy in the Austin crew of Texans. I think he's playing today, and he's playing a Doomseeker. So I can't wait to see what that's going on. I think I'm waiting on 1, maybe 2 more people to create some characters on mine, and we're gonna do a Discord. I might try to do it online and do like a live, little bit story testing / game mechanic testing, where we're all learning and playing and following along, kind of thing. So there's group tests. There's opposed testing. There's extended testing. There's a lot in this when it comes to tests. So there's the zones. By the way, I forgot about this. See, I'm jumping around a little bit. So zones, you got close range, short range, medium range, long range. They talk about feet, of course. They tell you how to use a grid. If you're going to use a grid of miniatures, they tell you exactly what you need to know. 1 square is small, 1 square medium, which that one kind of convinced. If you're medium, it's one. Okay, so I get it. So if you're large, you're 4 squares, 2 by 2. Enormous, 9 squares. Okay, so that's the size. Spontaneous casting, unknown spells and lures, multiple spell casts, and then you got beasts, right? You can make your own creature type. You just got to understand the concept behind it and what it is and what skills do. It's all comes down to. I'm hoping this takes off. I'm hoping people love this game and enjoy it and want to play it because you're familiar with what's going on with your server. Like, really, really do. I think the mechanics are solid. I think they're different enough where they're not complex, but it's more of a test game than a stat game. Say stat game. It's the DNs matter. Your testing matters. Your decision making matters. Your group mechanics of your group, your communication matters. All of it matters, and that's what I think is gonna make this game for take off. I really do. And that, okay, of course, it's my own opinion, right? But yeah. So that being said, let's see here. Do I have anything to throw some quick paint on? I got some projects. Let's do that real quick. Let's turn this off. Hopefully that was good. Let's turn this off real quick. Let's go over here. So I picked up this cool little guy. Can't wait to throw some paint on him. He's for gonna be for Warcry, but also for other things as well, right? I got his shield over here. Oops. There's his shield. The guy was really easy to build. Very, 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 very easy. He was so easy to build. Rawr, right? I can't wait to do that. Let's see here. What we were working on. So here's the fire state we were working on the other day, or last week, right? So my camera is a little bright. I'm still working on trying to figure out the lighting on this. So that orange is not that orange. It's not that bright. I gotta do some transparent on his eyebrows, and then I gotta do some highlighting on his skin. Do his belt. Do some detail work, but once he gets to a spot where I can just stop and get the rest. Let's see what we got. This guy going. Got a lot of the base colors put down. Worked on a little bit of his axe and his key. Got his hair going on, right? Just to get him to a place where I can start doing get him all based and done for the tabletop, and then I can go back and do more detail work. Then we've got April O'Neil, 2077. I'm working on her a little bit. What else? What else do I got going on? I'm getting ready to start working on the other part of Citadel, the bigger part of that thing. It's going to take some work, but that will be a project coming up, I think, either this week or next week. Maybe we'll start putting spin on this week. Get him primed this week as well. Death Elemental, Onslaught, Silver Tower. Oh, I picked up. Let me grab the box. Hold on. Then I got these guys to build. Slaves of Darkness I got to finish out as well. So got a lot to work on, but it's good because now I've got a role-playing game for Age of Sigmar. So all this stuff will work. All of it will work. I wanted to see something too. Oh, I got this guy to paint. Oh, I can't. I'm still having color issues right now. I have such a block on what kind of colors I want to put on things. So I got him. I got the Creature Caster newsletter with the new stuff coming out in the next couple months, and all I gotta say is, holy Creature Caster. It's amazing. Amazing. I did sign up for the next month's Creature Caster model to paint on stream if I get accepted, which I don't think I'll ever get accepted in any of those, just because I don't have that many people following and whatnot. But you never know, right? It'd be cool if I do, but if I do get it, I will paint that immediately on stream. I signed up for the one in July. I did not sign up for the one in August. Just because you look at a model, right, and I see potential. I see what I want to do with a model, and I just paint it. I never have a plan. No, I need to, man. Well, once I get the money, it's the money thing, man. The airbrush, because I need to get the one that Jason has. I think that's the one, but it's just funds right now. It's kind of low on the funds. I know it's in my blacksmith on my panel what I need. I do have a compressor. Hopefully the compressor works well with it. If I get that, then we're gonna be airbrushing, like learning together, because I've never airbrushed, and I take it back. I've tested the airbrushes with the finger dial thingy, and I'm not good at it because of this action. This action works so much better for me because of my fingers and all that stuff, right? So, but I'll be learning airbrushing, and I see airbrushing. I can see. I know what I want to do. Like, I know how it works. I know how the concept is. I can see the mechanics, because I think when I airbrush, a lot of the stuff will become easier, and then I can just work on detailing. Yeah, I gotta finish up these guys. I'm still working on these dudes as well. So, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? How was the 76 going? 100 acre. What was it? So if we'll do a shout out to 100 acres. If you want to watch some guy, a good friend, play some video games. He does a lot of gaming. I know he's been playing some Fallout 76. He's been doing medieval medieval game hack and slasher. I forget what it's called, but it's a online like medieval combat. And he does other games. He's got like he does a lot. But yeah, give him a follow on his channel. Fun, watch him game. I get in there one time and cause some havoc, whatever. You guys missed the SoulBound preview. I mean, so he's one of the guys in my group that he's made a KO as well. So we got 2 KOs, Kurnoff Hunter, a Bright Mage. I might have 1 or 2 more people joining, and then I think if I'm gonna get with everybody, and we'll go through, and I think we'll do a live test run on difficulties, DNs, and then we'll do some combat so people can understand and see that. We'll get that going and get the overlay and everything working for that. Drac, that same airbrush, or is it any airbrush they have is 30% off? Because I think his airbrush, I think it's amazing, because I think his is the one where you can pull off the cup too, I believe. Let's see here. Alright, so let's see here. We got some time. Let's throw some paint on something. Let's something. I don't know. We'll put on some paint on. I don't know. I don't know what to paint right now. I'm so confused. Of course, I got ogres I got to paint too. Man, I got so much I got to paint. Like, I mean, these guys, he's good for where it's at. Like, so this is one of my older projects. Most of my ogres are looking like this. Really dirty, because I feel ogres aren't the cleanest. So I like that whole, like, I'm like old school, like back in the Black Plague days of UK where everybody was just dirty. A lot of people like that clean skin. I don't know. I think mine's a little bit different, I guess. So you got that dude. One of the guys I'm working on. Let's see, where's he at? Gotta finish up these banners. So we got the dude holding the banner. So here's the banner. Different artistic background, right? Oh, nice. You got yours there. And I'm guessing you're loving your Grex. So my lead belchers actually look totally different than my ogres. You know, they're ogres. So I'm doing the whole dark skin for my gunners. I gotta finish working on these guys too. Got a lot of the base colors done. I'm gonna just go in and start highlighting and. And I was trying to go with like different color pants. Like each ogre have some kind of like blue, red, green. He's going like dinner time. You know, he's shouting like, "Hey, what's up?" So. And then I'm going to end up priming this when I prime the other guy because I think I'm going to do another one. I did one for a friend of mine, and he really enjoyed it. So I have my own I'm going to paint. I had a blast paint in the first one. So... Then I gotta go back and do some more finishing touches on this dude, Ogre Tyrant. I like how he's turning out. Just gotta add some more depth to him. I have another friend, Lance, in the area. He I want to do a shout out to him too because there's some people that should just be recognized. I've been personally seeing a lot of his work. He's always downed himself about being not a good painter in some aspects, but he's been showing me his Nurgle stuff he's been painting, and let me tell you, I am very impressed. He's doing an amazing job. Maybe one of these days I'll get some pictures and I'll make a folder on my desktop with pictures for the day and have people send me in pictures of what they're working on and we can look at them. Kind of like Jason does, but I'm not an artistic, like super like artist for 400 years, you know, like Jason is, but I can at least look at it and see it and he always asks me what do I think and whatnot, and you know I have a good eye on things because I've been training our eye, you know, my eye for a lot of it, and I know what it's supposed to look like, what it is. You know, like we always talk about, like we always have that mental picture of like what we want something to look like, and then we have personal struggles getting it to that way. But he's been doing an amazing job on his Nurgle, so I just want to make sure I want to recognize him out there if he's in the channel or not. Bravo, man! Bravo on your Nurgle, man. Very well done. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Don't stop. Where is the dial? Oh, I know we can do it. Throw some paint on this dial while we're at it. Let's see here. Looking for a color on this dial. If you haven't noticed, like Monument Hobbies has done their own webpage now. I think it still kicks you back to Creature Caster for sales, which is fine. But his website gives you a lot of mythology on paint combinations to get a certain look, and he has a explains his paint. Of course, it's Monument paint that he uses, so he does explanation like golden brown onto this, onto this, onto this, and he uses glazing, and he uses a lot of terminology. And the terminology he uses isn't really what you think it is if you don't really have a art background. When you people say glazing, people are like, oh, glazing, let me see. So if I use this, because it's called a glaze, I'm glazing. There is some truth behind that, but not totally. A glaze is really there to help you tie in colors. So this yellow is designed to help tie in colors. For instance, oh, do I have it? I don't know what I did with it. So I have a deepkin turtle that has the fins are green and different greens, and then I use this on top of some other greens, and it tied it in with the yellow, and it looked really good, and everybody loved it, and I was really impressed. But I used the yellow to glaze to tie in my colors. So just throw some paint on the skull a little bit. I've been wanting to throw some paint on there. I got a little bit of time. Go a little bit extra, and it's okay. What else we got? We got 7 people in chat and thing. So let's see here. Zoom in a little bit. Too much. And so a disclaimer too, eventually I'm going to end up buying a headpiece with magnifying glasses on it because my eyes are starting to go out on me, and that's honesty. Call me old if you want, whatever. But I tested it with, my wife does a lot of those jewel, diamond bead painting things. She has this magnifying glass with a light on it. And so she just looks through that. And so I went in her room one day with a miniature. I took the little April O'Neil 2077 that I got to work on her skin more, and put her underneath the light in that magnifying glass, and it changed everything. So I'm probably going to end up getting something like that I wear to see, so you'll have me looking like some kind of steampunk old man thing. So all I'm using right now is some light brown just to hit some rise up some stuff, keeping in some of that dark brown underneath on the skull. Just picking out the edges. I want to try something on the tentacles. I like the pink and the purples, but I want to put a glaze over top of it and then brighten it up some more. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, it is what it is, right? So I'm doing a watered down, like a dark red. Wait, so he called me out? I don't think I watched the stream. So since he called you out to, I have you both. I hate you both. Alright, so all good fun. I spent the weekend on his YouTube trying to get non-metallic metals and beat my head against it all weekend. Oh, I've been beating my head against, yeah, trust me, I'm right there with you. But so since he called you out too, I had you both. I hate you both. So wait, what did he say? Wait. So what did he say? Wait. So I'm so confused. He called me out? He called me out. Like, what did he say? Was this on Sunday's stream? Now I'm really confused. Because if he called me out, I need to know. Because if I haven't been working on something, I need to start working. Try a little bit. Too much water. Circle that up real quick. Because I'm gonna go back over with the magenta and a pink to highlight. Oh, that's all good, man. Oh yeah, I'm glad he did port that, but man, I really think I need to find someone and sit down with them, like side by side with somebody that knows it, that can look at it. Oh yeah, from Hank, yeah. And someone that understands it. Like, I understand it, I just can't apply it for some reason. Maybe that's all it takes. Like I said, maybe a sit down with somebody will just change everything. That dry. Sorry, and I paint a little bit different than most people. Like Jason paints and he can paint one piece and get one piece, like a solid piece. I paint one thing, let it dry, go to a different thing, let it dry. If I'm blending, it's a different story. Let's get some of the stonework done, because I think the stonework will help bring out everything else. But we're gonna do with some dark gray, I think, on this one. So it might go to 9 o'clock. Maybe add a little painting today. I've been doing only 2 days a week lately. Something always comes up, so I might be on tomorrow. I'm gonna try. Can't promise nothing, right? Do some painting. So what I'm painting is dark neutral gray. Just to clean up that a little bit, to help pull out the colors of the other stuff. Try not to paint in the creases and keep that kind of dark. But I hope everybody that's been watching, hopefully they've been enjoying me streaming. Again, I'm not a pro painter, just a guy hanging out on the internet, using paints, painting miniatures, BSing, doing some reviews here and there. When my buddy Jeff, one of my sponsors, and he is the Austin, Texas community leader. We'll start doing some streams together too. Let's see, I'll post my Lord of Malice Thursday. I'm stuck on what shadow color for his armor, and I went to get the sword right, even though I wanted to get the sword. Even I attempted just standard airbrush sword. Okay. What color is his armor, and what color is his skin? Just so I have an idea, like base color. You know, if it's metallics, or if it's his armor is like a gold, or did you do like a blue, or you know. So you can already see the difference too. You can see the gray versus the primer black. Like just how flat and how it just dries. So when it's wet, you can see it's wet. Right here, right there, you know, there is wet spots. When it starts drying, it just lays down so nice. And I've been retraining myself on painting. So I'm a very rough painter. I usually use the synthetics because they can take it. I'm trying to train myself just the tip. But the hard thing is I have a hard time feeling, because I have hard times feeling in my hands sometimes. So I can't tell you if I'm hitting anything with my brush. I have to visually see it, so that's where the magnifying glasses are going to come in, because I'm having a hard time seeing. not blind wise, just where that point goes, because the way my eyes work and stuff. Since I've been injured, I don't have my focus is really off too lately. He's blue skinned. Okay. I want to do a jade turquoise armor, but the shadow color is throwing me. I have done tests of greens and blues and shadow colors. Oh, okay. So hold on now. Now you got me thinking about something here. Let me grab something. Do I have something? Oh, now you got me. You got me thinking, Drac. I got. What can I throw some paint on real quick? Oh, today I finally got my hair cut, my beard trim, and my sideburns done, and I look more of a human now. I feel so much better. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, go back to that. Let's see. Let's see. I've got something. I do. I know I got something I can paint on. All right. So hold that thought. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make a note of that because I'm gonna look through my miniatures that I haven't painted that have armor, and I'll try to get them primed and ready and do some base colors. I'll try to get some jade / turquoise armor on it, and maybe we can mess around with that and figure out a good shadow. And I don't care if the model. I'm not worried about the model, but if we can come up with an idea and it helps you, that's a win in my book. Like, let's figure it out. Like, I'm intrigued. Like, I know I have something we can throw some jade and armor on there. Now, it might not be to your specifications on how it's painted, but maybe the shadow part. Now, you're talking about like the shadow and like the shadow of like. So say he has a pauldron. So like, let me see here. Give me a model. Give me a model. So like, so his armor. So like, let's just say this armor right here is blues and turquoise, right? But you're talking about his shadows. Let's see. It's not a very good. That's a shoulder pad. So maybe I don't have one. But I get like in the shadow, like the underneath of the armor itself, or. If it's the shadow of the armor itself, then maybe just keep it with the same color and maybe hit it with a black transparent, just to tone it down some. On the armor side of the world, right? So we got the silvers. I need to go back over the silver. Throw some silver on this. Just brighten up the cable up real quick. Section by section. Brighten that up a lot. That comes out. So this is I'm using all Pro Curls right now, and the silver just really amplifies things. Brightens that up. Look at that. Bam. Ooh. It's a bony armor. Now you got my brain thinking here. I don't like using my brain, but now you are. You make me use it because I really want to think of something for you there. Now, it's gonna be a weird question, but do you have a theme or a story with him? Like, is there something like? Think of the story that you're trying to tell. Think of maybe his environment, maybe what he's going through, or what you're whatever. And that might help you with the shadows. Depending on the base too, right? So what I'm gonna do with this metal is I'm painting it. I went dark silver. I'm gonna take some transparent black on top of it. Then I'm gonna re-brighten it up again. Maybe do some weathering of bronzes on it actually to give it some of a different feel. Switch brushes. I need to go to my synthetic. I love my synthetic brushes. Not worried about getting out on any of the cables. God, look how bright that silver is, though. It's so amazing. Their paints are so amazing. I don't know if they said anything Sunday, Drac, on the primers, or I know they're going through a transitioning period right now with a lot of things. So I don't know if he's covered anything on the new paints or anything coming out recently. I've seen the models. I'm just curious on how things are going on the other side. Let that silver dry a little bit. Brighten up. So this is So I'm mixing some dark warm gray with the other gray I use, the dark neutral gray. Right, brighten up some of the stonework again. Dude, the jade is amazing. It's an amazing color. Lighten it up some more. There we go. Kind of stippling in the gray on this stonework a little bit to keep some of the other gray in there on the. Yeah, so like today, Texas, our governor said anything that was open last week at 25 capacity, they can update to 50% capacity, and then they let some other things open up now. So it's slowly going. So. Some things are opening back up. Some things aren't. Like I said, I got my haircut today. I waited for 2 weeks to actually go to see my amazing. She's still in the Navy, active reserves, right? But she cuts amazing hair. So I went and got to see her today. She was so happy to see me. We got to talk. She's like, "Oh yeah, I could take off this filter, like filter as in the way we talk." And she's Polish like me, and so we have a lot. We just bullshit, right? She can speak it. I cannot. I was not raised around speaking Polish. So, but man, we had a good time. She just talked about how crazy things have been, opening up. So, at least in Texas, everything's on the rise. But again, anything can happen, right? Just don't live in fear, guys. Use common sense. Be smart about things. Just don't live in fear. No fear for you. Actually, let's drag this down to the next branch. There we go. So a mix of light neutral gray with dark warm gray, a little mix of that. Grab some of these edges. Not bad, not bad. I think Abbott was saying today, said like we have like 29.5 million people in Texas, and we have the best track record so far. You know, but you gotta look at it, people and cases, you know, and there's, you know, the math behind it, make everything equaled. Oh yeah, yeah. When I was deployed, it was cool because I got to hang out with a couple times, get on a couple of the major FOBs, forward operating bases. If you don't know what a FOB it means, FOB. A lot of them, a couple of big ones were ran by, I guess, by the Polish. So I got to hang out with a lot of them and learn a little bit. But if you don't use it, you lose it. But amazing people. Nine o'clock. So let me finish up this gray and we'll probably call it a night. I mean, I appreciate everybody's on here. Drac, I want to say thank you a lot for the chat. It's nice to be able to chat with somebody while you're doing something, right? You can only come up and talk to yourself too long unless you have voices in your head, which I might have a couple here and there. But it helps the mood, you know. BS, how everybody's week was, you know, how things are going, what are you working on, you know. Got to do that SoulBound review at the beginning of the stream, so if whoever didn't catch it, I am sorry. Doing some bit of line highlighting, edge highlighting on the stone. That will get covered up by some pink. I'm not too worried about. I appreciate it, man. I really do. You have helped dramatically keep me going, keeping me talking to myself, or from talking to myself, I guess, right? Go. Got some more paint on the dial. Pulling out some more details. Let's see if this looks good. I'm gonna try something real quick before we stop. So we got the bigger dial, right? So we've got cracks and stuff in here. So let's see here. If I do this, brighten it up a little bit. So you see me how I keep altering the dial around, and I'm always pulling the paint toward me. It's easier to pull stuff towards you, you're painting, than it is going in a line instead of trying to go away from yourself. So it's a good habit. Pull the paint towards you. Thank you. MDrags06, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. You are, I think you're number 60, man. 60, my 60th follower. Thank you so much, man. Man or lady, I should say, right? One or the other. I you know, not trying to discriminate, right? But thank you so much. I am working on emojis and your dude, no worries. Okay, I'm working on some emojis and I'm working on some badges still. I just don't have no idea. I don't know what to do. Everybody has a theme or something. I mean, I kind of have that, you know, Rick and Morty type theme in a way, but trying to figure out some ideas so I can get some people badges out there and some emojis and have some fun with it. So we've got these little marks inside this real quick. Let's see here. So how's it going, man? Drags, right? M Drags 06. Yeah, sorry. So how's it going, man? Lighten that up a little bit more. If anybody that's tuning in, my name's Ski. This is the Citadel Ski. I mean, schematic is my handle, but the Citadel Ski is going to cover painting, gaming, role playing, art, anything, right? Hanging out with friends, interviews, who knows, right? If you're in here a little bit later, I did cover the SoulBound role playing game that they're coming out from Cubicle 7. I do have a copy of it. We went through it pretty extensively, I would say. I might have not missed something. But if you do have any questions about that, I am here to answer, even while I'm painting, right? It's going good. We were working... What are you working on? It's looking good. Those numbers would look crisp with some OSL. Yeah, I'm working on doing the OSL. Basically, I got them highlighted and the number set. I just got to figure out how I want to do the OSL per se. Not one of my strong points. Again, I'm not a pro painter. I want a disclaimer here. I'm still learning like everybody else. I just been in the hobby a while. I've relearned to paint 3 times and literally relearned. Not like it's like, oh yeah, I just got to refresh, and I actually had to relearn. And then when you change your paints, every paint acts differently, right? There are a lot of similarities with a lot of paint out there right now, but I switched to Pro Acryl, and I still use maybe a little bit of GW here and there, and some armor, secret weapon, and some others a little bit, but been using Pro Acryl paints, and they act and they work so much differently than most paints, and they are amazing. So I'm still learning how to relearn these paints, and my blending is decent, but I'm trying to, there's a lot of things I'm still learning, so this is more of a, let's learn together, let's see me progress, let's talk about it, let's come up with ideas, BS, whatever, So I was doing this crack. Yeah, but you are definitely 100% right on the glow OSL. Like, I want to do the numbers. I want them all glowing like Rowan's, right? And then I want this eye. I don't know what color yet, but I want that to glow as well. And again, work in progress, right? Something I'm gonna grab something I've been working on real quick. So the whole aspect is that we are the Citadel. I mean, it's the Citadel Ski. So, I built this and we painted this. I've not done much painting off a stream with this, but this is the Citadel skill, part of the Citadel. So we were working on this. So. I gotta do some highlighting and some detail work here. I gotta do some more dry brushing on a couple things on the skulls. Do some work on this. Finish up the top here. We got the observatory, so the observatory sits here like this. On top, right? If you choose to, there's the bastion I still need to build. I need to detail. And then what we're gonna do, oh yeah, I got some of this stuff to paint. Let me grab it. I'm coming back, don't worry. I usually have this stuff over here on my table, and I forgot to put it back. So we did that, this is all on stream. Like, again, we're painting, the Citadel is the project for the stream, because it's the Citadel Ski. Even though it's a Warskrier Citadel for Games Workshop Age of Sigmar, we've done the woodwork on one of the platforms there. There's another platform. We got the stairs done. If you look at the stairs, hopefully the light's not saturating it, but the wood's all different. You know, so. Oh, dude. Salamanders are amazing. Death Card Terminators are amazing. We got this dude we're going to paint. He's like a cyberpunk Oni from a Cool Money or Not game. We're going to paint him up. We've got the original. This is Jesse James from one of the other tabletop. This was an exclusive miniature from Adepticon back in the day. It's hard to see it because of the black. We'll get some paint on him. He's like a cyberpunk Jesse James. We still got the stone structure we're going to work on for the Citadel Ski as well. It's like a bridge. And then this monstrosity. This is the next part of this. I don't know if I can catch it all. I don't think I can with the camera. So there's the top of it. There's the first side. So this piece, right, is all stonework with some metal work on it. Sits on here like this. Okay. So then, on the downside, so this thing is big. It's you know, it is big. It's tall. So it sits like this. Then this part of the tower sits on top of this, like so. Observatory, and then there's a bastion that goes on top too. It goes on top of that, right? So when it looks like it, like, so it's huge. Oh man, yeah. I hope so, man. I'm all about painting. It's been like, I haven't been streaming long. Been wanting to stream right and get everything around. Like I said, I've been painting some ogres, just kind of showing off. I know I should have been gone about 16 minutes ago, but I got some people in chat. People talking in chat keep me wanting to do it, you know? Like, I have Drac, and I'm blessed Drac, and I have some other people in chat, but, you know, I've got my Tyrant. Oh, I don't know if the camera's doing any justice. There we go. Let's see. I'm a very dirty painter, so I want a disclaimer. I'm not a clean person. I don't like clean paint jobs. It's hard for me to do clean because I can't just see it clean. I think that realistically they've been in battle, you know. Yeah, I got more work I got to do on him. So here's him. Here's one of the somewhat finished. Like, he's tabletop worthy right now, in my opinion. Or level 3, sorry. He's at my level 3 standard. I think ogres should be dirty and nasty. Like I was telling people earlier, like, I think of them as back in the day in the Britain when they had the Black Plague and everybody came out with dog duke and just were dirty. That's what I think ogres should look like. So I got them I'm working on. We've got our cyber, like I said, my April O'Neil Cyberpunk 2077 miniature I'm working on. Oh yeah. Well, I think the Death Guard are, yeah, they're dirty as they are, right? They're dirty. They're dirty boys. I'm a Space Wolf player. When I used to play, I played 40K from 2nd edition until probably this last edition, and I just got out. But I've been a Space Wolf player the whole time. Fire Slayer I've been working on. Got to work on the skin some more, do some more highlighting, do his eyebrows, tone him down a little bit, do some highlighting on the metal some more. But I try to get them into a spot where they look decent enough to put on the table, so then I can go back. I'm not sold on the Blue Ruins yet. They're just a placeholder. I got them to work on. Then I've got Slaves of Darkness I got to work on. So this guy I'm working on slowly, trying to get a good color scheme. I haven't decided yet, or I'm not sold yet on what I want to do yet. So yeah, bunch of projects here and there, right? like I was showing people my lead belchers. They are not. So the ogres are one color skin, and then I have I do a different color skin for the lead belchers, just for identifiers. A lot of it's just base colored right now. Fire stairs are one of the armies I want to drive into for AoS. Experiment with the contrast paints. So contrast paint, like all paints are great in some way, shape, or form. There's just some issues with contrast paints that I find. I have some. I've used a lot of them, and I use a lot of them for base coloring, and then I go back. So for instance, like he's actually Shadow Flesh from Procurl with some washes, but he started off like this, just with some contrast paint. I don't know, maybe just as a placeholder, I put some contrast paint on him just to get an idea of what I want to do, right? I got that guy. The orange is not contrast paint, just the skin. I got this guy I'm working on. This duder. So then I gotta get this guy primed up because I want to start working on him as well. Eventually, one of these days. So then we got the dial going. I'm thinking about, so I don't know, Drac, if you're still out there, or anybody else. So I've got the silver and the pink. I'm gonna brighten this up with some more pinks. Of course, the skull is gonna turn into the bone. And you've got the silver. I just added, so it was dark silver, then I just added regular silver to brighten it up. What do you think of metallic blue? And I'm talking like metallic blue instead of the silver. Yeah, there's some amazing techniques with contrast paints. I would venture in to use more different paints if you could. It will help you out in the long term. It really will. I have every single GW paint they have brought out. By the way, I really do, and that's no joke. And I have the full set of Monument Hobbies Procurl sets. I have all their paints as well. I got probably half of the secret weapon paints, and maybe an eighth of the armor painter paints, if that. Couple P3s, a couple of paints here and there, you know. So gotcha. The blue, yeah. So I love my metallic blue. I think it just always drives me crazy. I love it. It's just a great color. And of course, so this is a little bit brighter than what you see because I have a light that sits right down here. If you can see the light quality on my hand right here. Let's see here. So I have a light that sits directly and it shoots down. So it might look brighter than what it is. So think maybe a tab. If you get a chance to, scale 75 isn't bad either. They have some really good paints. But Procurl, man, so far I can't complain. And I don't think I ever will with Procurl. If you don't know Procurl paint, I'll show you. So you got the Monument Hobby Procurl sets from Creature. They're on the CreatureCaster website. This is one of their from, I think it's the new set, gray blue. But all their bottles are very good, sturdy bottles. Their tops are screw tops. So they're dropper bottles that you can screw open and close. And they all have agitators. Each bottle has an agitator to help you mix your paints. If you can get your hands on some of these paints and at least try them, I'm telling you, or just grab a couple colors. Their metallics are amazing. I mean, the whole line's amazing. You won't regret it. So you're gonna have to retrain yourself though, because the paint goes where you want to, and the pigments in this and the way the paint's designed is amazing. So you really have to figure out how kind of teach yourself a little bit painting with this stuff again. Oh yeah, their mini line is amazing too. I am a a creator. I got very lucky in that aspect. I've got some stuff I'm working on. Coming back. I swear, I'm coming back. Of course, you got the dial. I'm working on this bad boy. Here's the base. Working on the skull still, trying to get the base done. But then you've got the cloak. And then you got the onslaught berserker. If it'll pick it up. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up. It'll focus too hard. Is my camera gonna focus for me today? Probably not. Maybe it's just a little tad too close. There we go. Got him I'm working on slowly. It looks pretty dirty and disgusting right now. Then I've got this thing. Which goes into this base that I'm working on. And then working on this guy. I just get a mental block and have an idea, and then I'm like, okay, I need to wait for a second because I got to figure it out. So he goes in here like this. So I magnetize his arm. So we've got the scythe, right? So I magnetize the scythe arm, and then I've got the sword arm. I kind of wish the scythe wasn't down underneath. Like how he holds it underneath. I think it's cool, but I wish there was an option where the scythe was like kind of like this, even though it doesn't look right because the arm's not ready, but like where he's holding it, getting ready to strike down or something, or even hold it in both hands where it's like coming across this way. So gotta work on him. This is for a friend, one of my best friends. I'm working on this for him. He does, I got it for him. He has not seen any of this painted. He knows what the model looks like, but he won't know. The reason I put it in this cork base, I got to do some more work on this, is he's just too heavy. He leans too far back, and so he's really top heavy, which is okay. I just want to bring him up some, do some cool basing, add some more rocks and vegetation, but I made a base just for him. So... and it's good I have a bunch of projects because then I can just kind of shift through it all, little by little. So yeah, bunch of projects. Yeah. So yes. But I think that is it. I'm on, I think, an extra hour over what I was planning on. So I was only going to get on for an hour and a half, but we made this 2.5 hours because of painting and doing some work on that and doing some overlay on SoulBound. Yeah, I'll work on getting something set up so I can get people's pictures submitted, so we can bring up pictures and look at people's work and kind of talk about it. Working on getting more people on the stream, friends and good painters. We're gonna probably do some. I think I'm gonna try to get some SoulBound role playing online just so people can see hear people, see how things are, you know. What else? Work on, once I feel confident enough where I'm okay, I think my plan is to do non-metallic metals online and work at it together. And I'm going to do is I'm going to buy or find a way, buy or purchase or get a box of the same model, get them all built and primered, and work on one. And that's, you know, we'll work on it little by little, and then we'll put it up, and then we'll grab the second one and do the exact same thing and just try to tweak it until we get it down. And you're more than welcome to follow. I do have a Discord, so maybe I'll open the Discord and make a channel for people to join, and they can just post pictures in. We can just kind of look at where everybody's sitting and just work, and maybe do it together if you're interested in doing it. We all buy the miniature together. The hard part is paints. So I know, like Drac has, I think he has all the Creature Caster paints too, because we are both religious followers. He's more of a religious liar than I am for the Slow Fuse Gaming. So if you want to learn concept painting, and you're using Monument Hobby paints, please check out an inspirational streamer, hands down. He's changed my life, not just painting, just in everything. Monument, is it Monument Slow Fuse or Monument Hobby Slow Fuse? I think it is. Now I gotta find his stream again. It is. I want to make sure I get it right. And he doesn't know I don't get nothing for talking about their product. I don't get nothing. I get no kickbacks. I'm telling you the truth. Their product's amazing. Everything they make is an amazing product, and it's the price is worth it. The product is worth the price overall, hands down. Monument Slow Fuse on Twitch. Monument_Slow Fuse is his channel. He streams on a schedule. It's 3 days a week, but then he ends up streaming on Saturdays and Sundays, I think, while things are still kind of slow. But he will teach you fundamentals or advanced and or expert painting techniques and tips. He does a lot of non-metallics without using his own metallic paints. He does a lot of OSL. He does a lot of blending. He does everything. Okay, so you have them all too. Drac has them all. So when I do a paint along, I want to use all his paints because he teaches you how to use his paints to make non-metallic metals. And I'm telling you, get a chance, look at his channel. Hands down, he's got a website. They got a new website with mythology on it, telling you what the process is. One day I will get to that point of expertise like him in some aspect. It won't be him totally, but I will be able to understand his techniques, right? I'm still working on my blending, right? So that's where I'm sitting at, highlighting and blending, right? But it's been great. It'd be awesome if you join the Discord. Cool. I've already following him. I think I caught a couple shrimp. If you're on there, man, we're on there. Me and Drac are usually on there all the time. I might not be on there on the weekends because I'm doing other things. I volunteer at a distillery to help make hand sanitizer and liquor and other stuff for our community. But I'm usually always on his stream when he's on too. I think I've been a subscriber on his stream for going on 15 months, and then working on my liar badge. And I know Drac's a lifer. He's a liar like there's no tomorrow. So he's been there for a while. But we're a good community. We're a strong community. And I appreciate you joining me. Like, I'm mediocre compared to him, but I'm not comparing myself in the aspect of, like, I'm never going to, like, I can't paint. Why should I paint? Because his stuff looks so much better. I want to get to where he's at, and the support from people and the drive that people give me to paint to make myself better is what matters. Like, Drac has been following me, and from from pretty much the beginning. I have some family members and friends and sponsors and stuff, and so thank you, everybody out there, everybody that's hit that follow button. If you haven't, please do. There's a follow button. It's the little bell, I believe. I think it's the bell. I don't know. Is it the bell? No, it's the heart. I think it is. I don't know. It's one of those buttons. There's a thing that you can hit to follow me, and then if you don't want the notifications that I come on stream, because I might be doing some gaming, World of Tanks, World of Warcraft, who knows? Like, I might stream some games with some friends. There's a notification. If you hit the bell, it'll turn off that notification. If you feel like you want to subscribe to help out with the hobby or help me out with my channel or whatever, you can hit the subscribe button, Twitch Prime, or the monthly fee. It's all, I appreciate it all. It just goes back into the stream. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, this is, I got my number 60th follower today. I'm affiliates, so we're working on things, and I wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you so much. And I'm working on things. If there's anything you see that could be done better, if you think, you can always message me on Twitch. I do throw this on Facebook when I go live, so you can follow me on Facebook. Citadel Ski is, I think, my Facebook page. I'm still working slowly on that. But yeah, other than that, man, catch me on. I appreciate it. I'm gonna get off here. It's been a lot longer than I expected. And I'm gonna try to be on tomorrow. If not, I will be on Wednesday, unless we gotta do some stuff at this distillery before we open back up. So thank you all, my fellow hobbyists, my fellow followers. Glad you're here hanging out in the Citadel Ski, man. So better now than later. And until next time, right? Until the next time we throw paint on some more models. Catch you later.